What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So not a lot of you know, because not a lot of you watch my videos. I mean, I do it for fun, and I have been MIA for the past 1 year, but I actually was in nursing school for 2 years. And today I'm going to be talking about my NCLEX journey and some tips and tricks to help you in the NCLEX. Let me just talk about how amazing those 2 years were in nursing school. I met the best people and we grew as a family, bonded through nursing school, and I think they're going to be my friends for life. When you have this bond with a person, you have this shared trauma. I'll call it that. Nursing school was traumatic and beautiful at the same time because of the lack of sleep and all the clinical hours that you spend. But it was amazing. I don't regret any of it. No, I graduated in May and I was licensed in August. So basically I studied about a month and a half, I'd say. Yeah, let's go right into it. The 3 things that I think really helped a lot of people to get through and prepare for the NCLEX were: number 1 is UWorld. That is the number 1 thing that a lot of people recommend. The second thing would be the Saunders book. So some people purchase the latest edition and try to refresh on the systems before they hop into UWorld. So they try to grasp the concepts and basically review again everything that they learned from nursing school. The third one would be Mark Klimek audios. So those last about an hour to 2 hours. So you just listen to it. I think he has like just basically everything that you learn from nursing school in an audio. Personally, I only used UWorld. I was debating whether I should use other materials to study, but I stuck with UWorld because a lot of people told me that you should just know the basics, and I didn't want to overload my head with information that I know would confuse me when I take the exam. So I stuck with just UWorld. So I graduated in the first week of May, took about a month of a break from studying. I just needed a mental break, because COVID happened and it was just really chaotic last semester of nursing school for me. So I took a month off and I got back into studying after a month, and I kind of worked my way up into working on questions in UWorld. So basically my plan was to do it every day, and I started with 50 questions a day. So 50 questions a day, and then I targeted my weaknesses. When you first start UWorld, target your weaknesses right away. My weaknesses were pharmacology and maternity, so I spent a week on each topic, and it helped me grasp the concepts. But then again, you can't know all the meds in the world. Know your prefixes, your suffixes with medications, and that will help you a lot in deciphering, which answer to choose during the exam. Just try to target your weaknesses first, because you might burn out towards the end, and you wouldn't have much space in your head to study those. The second thing would be do UWorld every day. So UWorld trains you how to basically piece by piece extrapolate, the information that's on there and prioritize, basically just work your way through the questions. So I suggest you do it every day because it's a really good practice to train your brain how to answer critically. I worked my way up from 50 to 75, and then nearing my exam date I started doing just like 25 a day because the questions were mostly repeating. I would say it was still a good review for the stuff that I already went over. The third thing is note-taking skills. So this one was very important to me and I think really helped me absorb the information better while I was doing UWorld. Basically what happened was I wrote it down. Usually the stuff that I got wrong, I would write it down and put the key concepts on there. Some people would maybe take a screenshot or copy paste the rationale from UWorld. I suggest writing it down because I think that when you write it down, it's kind of like you're reading it too while you're writing it down, and so you retain the information better. So I suggest you just write it down. And studies show that when you write it down, you actually retain the information better. I mean, some people say you don't have to memorize anything. I'm gonna be honest with you all. There are only 2 things that I memorized for the NCLEX. Number 1 thing, precautions. So droplet precautions, contact isolation, all that. There are mnemonics available online and I use them to memorize what kind of disease would be airborne and all that and what PPEs to use. The second thing that I memorized would be lab values. So, know your chem lab panel, know your CBC, PTT, INR. Those are really important and it will help you in the NCLEX, especially if you know the normal value limits. The things that are very basic that you have to importantly grasp for the NCLEX would be prioritization and know your ABCs. Those are the number 1 ABCs. Know to address the physiological things first before addressing any emotional problems going on with the patients. Also, don't get discouraged with the low scores you're getting on UWorld. When I first started, I was getting 40%, 50% average in most of them, and I get it. It gets really frustrating. But again, UWorld practices your brain to think critically. So it's okay that you're getting low scores. The most important part is you're practicing your brain. You're trying to get it wired to think that way for you to be able to determine the right answer. So don't get disheartened. Just keep going. Do it every day. Towards my exam, I was getting like around, I'd say low 70%, high 75%. And if you actually search it up, a lot of people say that, they were getting low scores, like around in the 50s, but they actually passed the test on the first try. So basically, if you get above 50%, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read it somewhere on a UWorld discussion post that if you're getting above 50%, then you're doing good. You're actually doing good and that you have a high chance of passing the NCLEX exam. Let's talk about my NCLEX journey. 1 week before the exam, I took the self-assessment test on UWorld. So it basically mimics the NCLEX exam. So I think if I remember correctly, it was about 120 questions on there, which basically mimics, the maximum amount of questions on UWorld today, which is 130, and then the minimum would be 60. So I took that 1 week before my NCLEX date just to see if, what are my odds of passing this exam. And I actually ended up getting a 76%, which was a very high chance of passing. And that gave me enough confidence to conquer this exam. I knew I was ready, and I know at this point, I know what I know and I know what I don't know, but I'm just gonna take this test because I know I'm ready. And so 1 week before I did that, and then just started weaning down on the questions, did 25 a day. And the day before the exam, I actually did not study at all anymore. I just had to rest my brain. I read a book, I chilled, played Animal Crossing. So the day before, if you think that, relaxing would help you, then do it. Just stop studying and relax. You got this. And then on the day itself, I actually didn't feel nervous driving to the place, but when I got there, my heart was pounding like crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is it. So I actually came in there, I brought some snacks, I brought my ATT with me, authorization to test, just in case, but they didn't actually ask for that one. I left my phone with my parents because, I mean, you would have to surrender it to them, and I just didn't want to deal with all that. So I just brought my snacks, my water, my identification, and my ATT. And when I got there, I actually got there like 30 minutes early. If you get there early, just go in there and they would let you take the test. So for me, in that facility that I took the test in, they just allowed me to take the test early. And so I finished the test in about, I'd say, an hour and a half. So my exam stopped at 60 questions. And I think, yeah, that's the minimum number of questions that you can get. And I was so nervous because some of the questions were like very easy, and I thought that I was doing really bad because I wanted to like all that apply questions, but I wasn't getting them. I'd say I got a fair amount, around 10. I'd say 10 to 15, like all that apply questions, but I still wasn't sure if I passed because I felt like that was like really difficult.
It was difficult.
So what I did when I got home, I checked my email, and I actually got an email saying that now that you've taken the test, what are the next steps? Something like that. So after you get that email, you then log on to Pearson VUE to do the Pearson VUE trick. So I did that, and basically what you do is you type in, you know, all the information that you have to type in, just like when you were signing up to schedule for an exam. But the thing is, you don't want it to charge your card, so you put the wrong expiration date on there, and if you get the good pop-up, then that's 99% chances that you passed. So I will link down below this PVT trick that I followed, and that helped me a lot going through it step by step after I took the NCLEX because I was too anxious and I just needed a straight to the point video. So I will go link it down below. And so I was so nervous. I was shaking while typing in my card info, and I got a good pop-up. But that didn't give me peace of mind. I had to wait until, so I took the exam on a Sunday. I had to wait until Tuesday midnight to get the result. And I told myself that unless I see my name on the BRN page, then that's when I'm gonna be celebrating. That's the only time I'm gonna be celebrating, because I don't know. It just feels different, you know, like PVT trick. Although it's 99% accurate, there's a 1% chance that it's not. So I'm just really excited that, you know, all my hard work has paid off. And, you know, I had an amazing 2 years of nursing school, and getting my license is such a great achievement. I think that I made it, and that I'm officially a nurse, and I'm so excited to be starting my new RN job as a new grad next month. So yeah, I hope that telling you guys my nursing journey kind of helped you gain some insight on how to prepare for it, on the things that you should focus on and what tools you could use. You guys got this. If it helps you to put positive stuff on post-its the day before, even when you're studying, just do it. Do everything that you have to do to make you feel confident. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I can't wait to share with you guys more of my nursing journey. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Bye.